Welcome everyone to Sisters Narrative, whether you're new or returning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this amazing conversation of women that have been through and are out, or are still going through it in different ways. But thank you for being part of us. Thank you, Miss Essay, for joining us today. And last week, we talked about mental health. We looked at the World Health Organization definition of mental health, our various perceptions as women. For Precious, it was from a professional point of view. For me, it was from just a woman that deals with mothers every day. And of course, our host was blessed that asked very insightful questions. So we are here today. And today, we're looking at the weight that women carry. A woman's mental load. As women, we carry a lot on our shoulders. But before we go into it, I'd like to allow my co-host and guests to introduce themselves. Over to you.
Hi there, my name is Blessing. I'm one of the hosts of Sisters Narrative. Like my very good friend Deborah has said, this platform is for women. We talk about any and everything that we go through. Struggles that you're not free to share with your close-knit family, nobody to listen, or they're just too busy with life. We bring it up and we have a conversation to support one another. Just joining today, we're having a second episode of the Mental Health Chat, and I promise it is quite insightful. We have an amazing guest here. She'll introduce herself to you. Thank you so much. S, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Essay, and how would I introduce myself? I will say I am a 40-something-year-old woman who has 4 children. Yes, 4. I have 3 boys, 1 girl. I am also a civil servant in the UK. I currently work within the HR area, and my specialist area at the moment is learning and development. Mental health is very important to me as I support colleagues, but mainly how I support myself and how do I support my children in this ever-changing world that we live in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Essay. Okay, over to you, Miss Precious. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Precious Choma Jack. I'm a teen coach, the talk therapist, a mental health advocate, and a public health specialist. I'm glad to be with you all this evening.
You're welcome, Precious. And of course, your very humble Deborah Okoy. Like I started with saying that we're looking at the weight that we carry as women. We juggle it all together. It's only a mom that can be a mom, and at the same time, she can be a coach. She will be a chaperone, a chef. We do it all. We do
a driver, a nurse, a driver.
Yes, we do it all. I once watched a movie on Mother's Day, and they said that what is the job that you do 24 hours, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, without benefits, with no salary? And the people said, no, I don't want that job. I don't want that job. And he said, yeah, that is your mom. That is who we are. Thank you for being here once again. So I'll allow you, Blessing, to take it from there. The weight we carry as women.
Well, as women, we wear so many hats. We fit into so many skins. We fit into so many people's narrative. You're a daughter today. You're a girlfriend tomorrow. You're a sister. You're a wife. You become a mother. Suddenly, you're a friend. You're a neighbor, and all of that. So what happens most of the times is you are just this one person, and you have to switch around quite quickly, I might say, to become so many things for so many people around you. And at some point, you forget about yourself. We've almost all been there, even if you haven't become a wife or mom, but you find at some point you're a mom to your kids. They're vulnerable. You're looking after them. You're a wife to a husband who's trying to find his way around the world, trying to make an income, trying to keep a family together. You're a daughter to your mom who's now aging and she needs help. And then you have to carry yourself, your work, the experiences, the struggles you go through in your health and everything. And at some point you start to lose yourself or start not even recognizing what aspect of you needs saving or need helping. It has happened to me in different times in my life, and I realized, you know what? At some point I try to just leave it. I just drop it. I can't do it. I drop it. I retreat. and I take a break. I don't know how anyone else handles it, but that's how I have dealt with it, the weight that I've had to carry. Someone else might want to explain better how they've done it, but that's how I found that I was able to manage it.
Okay, thank you very much, Bless. Over to you, SA.
I would say so. I got married quite young, and I started having my children at a young age, and when Bless was talking, it just literally came back to me of how did I deal with my mental health when I had 3 young children under their age when I was 23, and a husband at the same time. Now, how I dealt with it was very much I was thrown into motherhood and being a wife. And it was like I was an autopilot. I was just constantly doing it as a just doing it. You just get on with it. And then I don't think I really was able to take that step back and take a break. It was only when I got into my late 30s, into my 40s now, I realized I needed to take the time to look after myself. So how I've done that is I always try and carve. I'm an early riser. So I am up by 4:30, 5 o'clock. So doing this at 10, almost 10:30 at night. It's past my bedtime.
Sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
So what I tend to do, I wake up around 12:35, have a moment to myself, and then I tend to go swimming early in the morning or do some sort of exercise, walk the streets. Blessing knows me. She was my neighbor. We walk in the streets of London early in the morning because it's peaceful, it's quiet. And then I'll come home and the kids, they're running around doing their own thing. And then I can then be that calm person for them, not that person who's going to shout and be like, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. I'll come back with a more calm exterior where I've released all my stress and now I'm prepared for my day. So it's that carving that time for yourself, whether it be in the morning, whether it be during the day or in the evenings. Just carve that time for yourself to just have that moment.
Me time.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much, Miss Essie. Okay, Precious Jack.
So for me, just like we're talking about the last time we delved into this topic, I find peace with music. So sometimes on where I've been, what is really, and then I listen to music. I think music therapy really works for me. That's when I reflect on things, and then I try to enjoy myself, do what I can do, get myself gifts, just go around and just be kind to myself. I think that has really helped me.
I like that part of being kind, getting gifts for yourself. I think for me, I work in a place where I play music all day long. So from when I get into the office at 6 a.m., I play music. I have a beautiful playlist. I play music until 6 p.m. when I leave. So the music in between kind of calms me. However, mine is meditation. I just be in that place where I read the word, I take a Bible verse, and I let it sink in with prayer. At times it might not just be, yelling out, but that solemn inner peace when he said he leads me beside the still waters. That stillness of meditation kind of helps me. I like to quickly just say this because of time. We will not have to deal with everything, but this is really important. What are our invisible tasks that you carry out that no one else knows? The things that we do that outside what everybody knows that you do as a mom. What is that invisible task that you do that no one else? Please.
I'm just thinking, what's that thing that I do? Well, things that people don't know about. I just get anxious anyway. I don't know if it's a task, but I feel like I put myself in overdrive sometimes when I'm anxious about something, especially if it relates to my children. Like recently my son was in hospital. I think I shared it last week, and I couldn't be there with him, but I found that throughout the day I was fretting a little bit. I was a bit anxious, but most of what I did was just pray. I think that was all I could do. I just had to pray and commit him to the Spirit, because I can't be there with him physically, and that applies to everything else where I can't physically do. I think I just commit it to the Spirit and let the Spirit take charge. That calms me, that helps me. And then, just believing something higher than you is in control.
So you pray.
Yeah.
Yes. When it's outside of our control, that's all we can do. Okay, Essay?
I would agree with that. My daughter, she's in America at the moment, and she's doing a couple of months. She's doing this American camp lead, so she's there for a couple of months. So the anxiety I had in allowing my baby girl to leave has been tremendous. But it's like I always say to myself that just in reflection, be proud of you, be proud. So I think I'm in silence, I'm more prideful. I'm not a outwardly proud person, but within myself, I am very proud of what I've accomplished and what my children are accomplishing. And so it's not outwardly telling people, oh my gosh, I know I'm saying it to you guys now.
Yeah,
because but it's that silence of where I'm silently proud. I pinch myself thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this little girl of mine of yesterday is doing this great thing. So I beam with pride silently, and it helps me push and help me go forward and like not fear with that. As Les said, you pray and you've got God on your side. Like, how is he helping us get through these moments, these accomplishments, these challenges that we go through? And every challenge is actually an accomplishment, because I was fearful about this, but it's an actual accomplishment. So don't run with fear with the challenge. Run with like, oh my gosh, should be a proud moment. We've accomplished this. So yeah, I do that a lot.
Can I just pinch you a little bit on that, S? How did you feel when the flood was going on in the US and you couldn't reach your little one? Because I panicked for you a little bit. I had to call you, like, what is going on?
So when my daughter told me that they had no power, I was like, okay. I don't know, it's weird. It's like God is in control. I run less with fear because of how life has come. The things that have happened in my life. I'm less fearful because I know God is in control. So that's how I run things. Like, I know she will be fine. We've got this far. We did all the trials and we did all the stressing about getting there. So then nothing can go wrong now. It's meant to be. She's meant to enjoy. It's meant to be fruitful.
Amazing. That is amazing. You are strong. I would be getting on a flight and going over there. My mental health would be everywhere.
I think I can relate with that. My oldest son left home for college, for the university when he was 17.
Wow.
So yes, and he went out of state. We stay in Georgia. We're in Georgia. And my son had to go to the north. He went to Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's where my daughter is.
Oh, okay. That's where my son's schooled. He actually going back for an interview by Friday. So he had to go. The first weeks, I was calling him every day, morning and evening, until he said, Mom, please, just stop. And then I didn't call him for a week. He now called me and said, Mom, are you okay? I said, why? He said, because you've not been calling. I said, you asked me to stop. Now you say, why am I not calling? And my last born too, he's out of state. He's in Maryland, Baltimore. It's only my daughter that is with me. So I'm like, okay, so I can relate to that. You just pray and let God handle it. On to you, Precious.
Okay, so I'll just basically throw from where we're all coming from. Bliss just made a statement. She said she was going to just, take the next plane.
Flight.
But I don't think that's what she'll really do, because just a few weeks ago, Simeon had an episode. Yes, Simeon had an episode a few weeks ago, and we were all, in it together. I understood that she was actually sitting on the edge of her chair. Yeah. Yes, I know that because I had to talk to her. And then in the midst of the discussion, she was even encouraging me and encouraging herself. And I knew she was anxious. But the truth is, we all have our experiences. We all have, the way we handle life. And experience has also taught us that there is nothing we can do about it. There is really nothing we can do about it. Now, when Essie was talking, she talked about, she just had to relax. You come to a point in your life where you just relax because everything will be all right. What would you do? I had to take care of my mom for a very long period. As much as I can remember, from a very tender age, from the age of 3, let me just say 3-4 years. I can remember as a baby running, with the hospital trolley when they were moving her to the theater. I can still see the picture of my very little self running and tagging along with the hospital bed. I can still literally see the blood dripping all over. I can still picture it at this age. I'm over 40. Okay, so we've had these experiences, and all of the experiences we have, it actually makes us strong. Now, some of us have had different experiences. All we look at is that we have something that is greater than us, and that is God. That is what we have, and not every other person has it. So a lot of people who've been listening to us now might not relate with where we're coming from. There's this peace that that we have when we're in situations, and that has pulled us through. Bliss has a history of where she's coming from. I was a little bit part of that story. But the truth is, how did you navigate all of those challenges? Like Sister Esther said, one thing to be proud of. You might not show the pride outwardly, but you're proud of yourself because you didn't give up, you didn't die, you didn't lose hope. That's why you're proud of yourself. That's why we can say we're proud of ourselves. And when I look at, yes, I had to fight with a lot of trauma. I had to decide on what area of public health to actually specialize because I was healing. And a lot of people didn't know that it was part of my healing that made me go to one section of public health. Just a few years ago, 3 years ago, I lost my mother-in-law. It took me a whole lot of the things I do for people, I had to look for someone to do for me. So we're thankful for the experiences we have and the fact that we've had someone. The Trinity has actually helped us. And so we need to be proud of where we're coming from. Basically, I have been helped, I have grown, and I can stand. And that's what life is all about.
So if I might ask, just to piggyback on what you said, other women that are listening to this now are going through this.
Yeah.
Some of them experience social withdrawal, they can't sleep at night. How do we address the strategy for them, especially you that deal with mental health, specifically? How do we address things like this for people who may not have been able to get to the point where we are able to talk about what we're going through now? They're still in the middle of what we are saying we've gone through now. They are right in the middle of theirs. I think S was my neighbor and friend for a while. I know what she went through. She was right in the midst of what I went through. Precious, you were at the start of what I was going through. People are at that stage now. How do we address what they're going through to help them through? How do we do that?
Okay, so like we all have different levels of experiences. What I mean is we're individually different in every aspect of our lives. And what I've been through might be different from what you've been through and what every other person has been through. But finding a place to know that you're going through a problem. There are a lot of people who haven't even identified that all is not well with them. So there has to be a place of ownership. You own your problem. You're able to tell yourself, this is what I am going through and I need help. Some people don't even know that they need help before we start going into try to share your problem, because people say a problem shared is how solved. Some people don't even know that they need something to share. Do you understand? So your ability to identify that you need help is your starting point. Just like when we're talking, I was invited somebody to talk about depression, and I was telling them, some people don't even know that they are depressed. Except you start telling them the symptoms, you start telling them the things to identify. So in such a case where somebody is really down, the person is really in a mess, you need to first of all tell yourself the truth. You need to reflect and be able to measure, where am I at? What is wrong with me? Why haven't I been able to achieve this? Why am I sad? Why am I unhappy? Why am I still in this relationship? Why am I still in this marriage? I'm unhappy. Why am I stuck? So when you're able to ask all of these questions, you can now begin to seek help. Because if you don't know that you have a problem, it will be difficult to get help. So people who are in all of these situations should be able to tell themselves the truth. Tell yourself, you know this adage of when they say the person who wears the shoes, knows where exactly it pains the most. So be able to identify where you have that pain, identify where it pinches you, and then get up, own it, and then be able to seek help. Before we start going into looking for psychotherapy, looking for all of that, you need to identify that all is not well. When you identify it, then we can now go to the next stage of seeking help.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. S, do you want to throw some light on that as well?
I would agree with that. I would also say the most powerful person in your life is yourself. The most powerful voice that you hear is your own. Learn to have positive conversations with yourself. As Precious said, you have to do a lot of reflection with yourself in order to help yourself get out of situations. Trust yourself. Whatever you think is in your mind, trust yourself that what you're saying to yourself is real. What you're feeling is real. Because a lot of times the outside world, and I'm not going to highlight anything, I'm trying to be very mindful. The outside world will tell you a lot of things. Even friends and family may tell you things, but you know what you're feeling, you know what you're experiencing. So trust yourself to know that this is not right for me. I'm crying because I am sad. I'm not crying because I'm happy or someone says I should be happy. I'm crying in myself because I am sad. Why are you sad? Ask yourself these questions. Is this right for me to feel like that? And then when you've come to that point, find someone you can trust. And trust is a hard thing when you're trying to speak to someone else. And when you're in a situation where you feel so isolated, you're very wary of trusting people, or someone's going to say something or judge you. So when I was going through my storm, it was very hard for me. But I came to a point of where I am not telling this person because I feel they can change my world or they're going to judge me. I'm telling this person to release it from myself. It's just the other person is just a sounding board. You know your answers. You know what you need to do. You're using someone else, like Precious is a coach. So you sit there and they talk to you and you're just a sounding board. You ask them the questions and they just say the answers for themselves. So use people as a sounding board for you. It's not about trust. You should only trust yourself, and then it will help you trust others. But don't feel like you're going to be judged because you speak to others.
I think I'll just...
I think basically, sorry sis, I think basically a lot of people feel that they're going to be judged. So, you know, some persons can be in situations where they find it difficult to trust someone. So I think there's a level of growth that comes with that. People are stuck. People are just in the same place where they've been so many years. People have been, can you imagine a woman who is in a very abusive marriage and she's asking, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? So
but the thing though, we have to be mindful where their mindset is, because some of us are culturally raised to not speak or respond to things like that. So you have to know where that person is coming from culturally, you know? That also affects a lot of decision making in people, though. Culture and religion. I think we had that conversation last week as well.
And I'd like to add that there are times that women go through things and they lose self-confidence, and they feel that whatever is happening to them, it's because they made the wrong choices, they made the wrong decisions, even when it's not their fault. But mentally, they have believed that, okay, this is happening to me because this is how much good I am. This is what I'm worth. They do not see any value in themselves anymore. And so they take it and they make excuses. Especially when there's an abusive man that keeps telling you, you know, I did that, you're the cause, I hit you because you said this. If you didn't say that, I wouldn't have said this. So it's at that point, the women lose every worth, every value, every self-esteem. And they just go with whatever is happening with them. So with that, they cannot even talk to themselves. They can't even believe themselves enough to say, oh, what I'm going through, is it good or is it bad? They just feel that it is normal. You know what? This is what comes to me. And they define themselves by whatever is happening around them, the things that they are going through, and they're not able to think anymore. So they don't even value themselves at all to say, okay, they don't trust themselves. They don't trust their choices. They don't trust their decisions anymore because of their journeys and where they have been.
Exactly, that is so true. The first point you make when you say people think it's their fault. Oh my God, that's so true. Honestly.
Another thing is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of the known and unknown. Because we're talking to a large community of people who might not have been able to make something out of themselves. Probably they're still fighting with career decisions. They're suffering verbal abuse. It might not even be domestic abuse, violence or anything. Just verbal. Somebody you're living in a house with an insecure man. Someone who is so insecure. It's a whole lot.
That's when it's about man. How about the one that lives with father-in-law, mother-in-law, sisters-in-law, everyone in the same house, and in your own home you do not have a voice. You do not make decisions. You just exist. You do not live. Whatever mother-in-law says is what you do. Husband leaves the house in the morning, and you're home with mother-in-law, father-in-law, sisters-in-law, and their children.
So some
And in
persons
your
are
own
afraid,
home,
to make decisions, because if I leave, what will happen to my children? What will people say?
Nigeria internet.
Okay, Bless, you're the one for the next segment. So just
Yeah,
take it
so
from
what you have just said, Deb, have just
Yeah.
taken me right to my next point. So the focus on marital roles, extended family, the expectations, dynamics with the in-laws and all. There are women who are going through stuff like that, and they're just caught up in the midst of chaos. They're trying to please everybody. At the end of the day, it feels like they're not pleasing anyone, because you can't please everybody all of the time. So in this aspect, there are cultural expectations for this person to be a good wife, good sister-in-law, and all. What is the weight of culture and society on us as women? If I can get Esther to start on this. Our society expects a lot from us as women, to blend into family, extended and all that. Culture expects the same from us, or different. Religion expects the same. And then we have our personal expectations, thinking, I'm married now, I should take some load off. Even though I'm picking another set of load, it should be easier. But then it isn't. How do we deal with that? Yes, if I can get you to weigh on this.
So I'm from a single parent household. So when I got married to my children's father, he was I always wanted, I didn't grow up with my father, so I wanted my children to have a father. So he was a Nigerian man, highly cultured. As you know, I'm British. I'm British born Nigerian. So I have the Britishness, as people would say. So I'm not highly got the Nigerian culture in me, but I would say, I don't want to offend anyone, but he beat it into me. But I won't. I'm sorry, I did say that.
You're allowed to say it.
I like to put a bit of humor, but yeah. So I had that. What held me with him was that I can't leave because I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to be a single mom. He would always say, "Oh, you want to be like your British friends who are single mothers." That culture of you have to have the husband, the wife, the kids. That's it. You know, and we all look good in pictures. You know how you smile in pictures and it's only literally a few seconds. That's what everyone expects you to be, in that picture where everyone is smiling and happy. And with the culture of no one divorces in this family. No one gets divorced. You stay at home, you look after the kids. I got married at 18. So I was at home I had 3 children by 23. I was at home with my 3 children. But then he was also the same person who'd be like, you need to have a career. You need to go to uni. I went to uni, but you stressed me out so much that I went to uni. So there's that Nigerian culture of where they want to keep you down, but also they want to borrow pose and show everyone, look at me, look at my family, look how accomplished I am. But at home, they're putting that pressure on you. So it's like, I would say the culture is such a contradiction. They want you to be the most accomplished wife in the world, but yet they don't want you to grow too much wings and feel too independent. Oh, now I've got a career. Now I'm making too much money. So I see him as less of a man. So it's that constant contradiction. They want you to be a westernized wife, but yet they want you to be a Nigerian wife who sits at home, cooks and cleans and looks after the children. So how did I fight against that? I didn't fight against it. I kept in line for a very long time. But my mental state got to the point of where the mask fell. I couldn't pretend anymore. I couldn't pretend at church because we went to church 3 times a week. I couldn't pretend no more. I told pastors, this is what's happening. They said to him, "Oh, you shouldn't beat your wife. You should be using your hands for love making," and then sent us home. And then he fought me again for telling the pastor. But yeah, so it's a hard one. Church culture, it's a hard one. And I know I'm not in Nigeria. I don't know where your audience mainly are, but I would like to say to the ladies that it doesn't matter where you are in the world. When someone's steeped in culture and religion, you are literally in that box and you remain in that box until you find some sort of strength to leave that box.
Wow. That's a heavy one. Deb, you want to weigh in?
Okay, yes. I think it's not only a Nigerian thing because here in the US, I see Nigerian men that live in the US that bring in their wives as nurses. Afterwards, they go to nursing school and they have their RN, and the men don't want to do anything anymore. They stay home, the women go to work, night shifts. You ladies know what this is. Night shift. Come back home, the man is still sleeping, expects the lady that just came back from a night shift to go make food and serve them before she goes to get them. Ridiculous. And of course, yeah, you brought the woman from Nigeria, but she's not a slave. She's tired. And most times the women now say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. And then what Essie was saying, you've come to America, now you want to act like the American women. But you are not even acting like a husband. It's like, I brought you here, make money for me, go to work, make money. Some even fight them. Give me your paycheck. I'll tell you how to spend it.
Wow.
And yes. And women here kind of say no. So it became like a revolution that nurses were leaving their husbands because they refused to. The men are asking for, give me your paycheck and I'll tell you how to spend it. And the women are saying no. So I don't know why women are being suppressed. And when they want to speak up for themselves, it's like, oh, no. You're being disrespectful and you're becoming American. That is not how a Nigerian woman should be. I remember one of the days we're having a meeting at church, and my pastor and somebody said, but our mothers went through it. And my pastor's wife said something very profound. Our mothers went through it and they died in it.
Oh, wow.
They died in it and they didn't say anything. Doesn't make it right. And it does not mean that they enjoyed it. It's just that they were at a time where they couldn't speak up. Now you do not expect women not to speak up. That is not being disrespectful. That is just looking out for yourself, in my opinion.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these people, they strip you of who you are supposed to be. Even though you're trying to fight for yourself, you're still considering, am I doing it right? Is this the right way or is this the wrong way? Somebody's not just letting you breathe. You are actually fighting for oxygen. You're fighting to survive. But still in your mind, you're thinking, am I sure I'm doing it the right way? This is not how my mother would have done it. This is not how my culture expects me to do it. This is against what the church thinks is right. But still, because you're the one living in it, you just have to survive it. You have to find the best way to come out of it. And that's it. That's just the role that religion and culture plays in influencing women's situation that affects their mental health. Speaking about pastors, I remember I had an issue when I was going through my stress and I was struggling with my mental health, and I reached out to the pastor who was in charge of the church that my significant other at the time was attending. And he said to me, he didn't even care if I was going to be killed the next week or so. He said to me, oh, you're not the person we know in this church. It's the brother that we know in this church.
Oh, wow.
So yes, and Essay was in the very know of this conversation. And until he brings it to us, we cannot address the situation. And this was me crying for help, literally asking for support. Just asking for an opportunity to have a conversation with someone who can mediate what is going on. And that was the response I got. That's how religion can reduce you as a woman. I'm not saying generally that religion.
I think we shouldn't generalize, because I remember Precious mentioned this, and because let me, like I always say, I will use my local assembly. That's where I am. When you're going through abuse, we do not encourage divorce, but we encourage separation. Pray from outside so you do not die. Pray from outside, and they will always ask you to go into counseling. I love my pastor and his wife on that. They will talk to you. They will call the other person. It doesn't matter who is the member of the church. As far as you've brought it to them, they will give it their all. So I think it has to do with that individual, that particular pastor, what they know. Because you can only act based on what you know, which sadly it's wrong. Okay, Precious, sorry, I see you nodding.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. I was just agreeing with what you're saying, because you don't really generalize them. You don't generalize those behavioral. I just want to make it as a behavioral pattern for that particular organization. Because the truth is, where I come from, it's a different ballgame. We don't even encourage people to stay and suffer. We don't encourage it. Because if you look at it, you see that a lot of women, we are being raised to endure. But times are changing because we're raising our daughters to speak up.
Yes.
We're raising our children to speak. And I think that a lot of energy should be put into raising our sons to be great men. We're putting too much energy, and I'm sure even home and abroad, we're putting too much energy to raising the girl child to be enduring, persevere, to be strong, to be respectful. And we're not teaching our sons the right things to do. Because if we teach our sons, if we put all the energy we're putting into raising our daughters, we won't be having the kind of men we're having now. Honestly, we won't be having, the kind of experiences we're having. When I listen to a lot of young people, I was talking to a young chap who, molested a girl. And I was like, why did you do this? He simply said, well, she didn't tell me. She just said no. She didn't say no. She just said, no, don't touch me. So I took it to be no. We've not raised our sons to know that no means no, no matter how that no is presented, and that a woman must be respected. All of this attitude, all the things we're saying, is a societal failure. We have actually failed. And I think it's the patriarchal nature that is making, when you go to some organizations, some pastors will tell you, go and endure. You hear, go and pray for your husband. You hear, don't leave your husband, you will suffer. There's no man that will marry you when you leave your husband. There's nothing. If you leave, society will look at you and say you're a divorced woman. They will laugh at you, you're a single mom. They are very unnecessary. But I'm happy to tell you that a lot is changing right now. Even back home here, you see a lot of single mothers doing so well, being happy. And I'm so happy that it's changing, and men now know that women can't endure anymore. And I think that's where we should be driving to, where we, like Sister Essie said, we trust ourselves. We trust the process, that everything will be all right. We trust it. Just speak up and make the decisions that we need to make for ourselves, so that we don't stay and die in our pain. I think we need to get to that point of serious trust.
That is amazing for us. That brings me to my next point, though, the aspect of where we know that things will be okay. How do we speak to women who are struggling mentally because of the weight of work and juggling families? So you have almost become the financial bearer of the family. Maybe you're the main person with a job in the house, or you're unemployed, underemployed, and you have some crisis at work as well, toxic environment that most of us work in, and you have a family. You're a woman, you're going through your own stress, and then the stress of work and financial constraints. If I can get Precious to weigh on this, to start on this, how do we speak to women who are juggling so much and feeling like they can't cope anymore mentally? Is Precious still active? Can I get Essay to weigh on this while Precious is sorting her data out?
Precious is here. She's muted.
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
Okay, it was difficult to hear you, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Can you take that question again, please?
Right, so women are now becoming the ones bearing financial burden in most families. They have their own stress at work, long days at work, and then they come home, they have a family to deal with, and then they have their own personal lives to deal with. How do we address it for women to manage and cope with all of this all together with their own personal issues?
Okay, sorry, I must apologize. It's difficult to hear you, but I think I got the last part of what you said. How do women cope? Because my network is actually playing games with me right now. Okay, so basically, women go through different struggles. Someone might be coming from an abusive marriage. Someone is still trying to find herself career-wise. Someone is still trying to struggle with different forms of understanding. How you're able to go through all of this is to ask yourself the simple question of where you're coming from. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you won't know where you're going to. So you ask yourself, where am I coming from? The second question should be, where am I going to? What do I want for my life? What do I want for my children? So when you ask a mother, probably married or single, what do you want? You find out that she's already asking, I just want my children to be settled, to do well in life, to be succeed in academics, to do everything. So a lot of women are just thinking about the success of their children is their success. And then they forget that these children would grow and want to live their lives. and you will still be stuck there because you were not able to run with your passion, you were not able to do something you love, you were not able to live your life. And so all of the struggles we're having are just around the children, around people, around your family. You're doing everything you're doing just to make the people around you to be happy. What makes me happy? What do I want for myself? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? What do I want to be remembered for? What kind of impact do I want to leave behind? So I think women should just, we need to reflect. We really need to reflect on all of these things. So we ask ourselves these simple questions. We can now begin to take decisions. We can now begin to make decisions that would help us achieve the goals that will take us to our next level. And so to be able to juggle around all of the struggles we have, academic-wise, job-wise, struggling with, entrepreneurship, all of the things that we need to do, we need to ask ourselves where we want to be. And then when we do that, we can now find all of the resources that will be available to make us get to our next stage. If it's something that has to do with maybe you want to go into business, you need to be able to ask yourself what kind of business, what you want to do. If it's something that, we're struggling with a whole lot of this. I told you on the last call, someone just came and she said she wanted to pay to be happy. That was her year resolution. She just wanted to be happy. And by the time I went into psychodynamics, I began to ask her where she was coming from. I realized that she had a whole lot. She was carrying a baggage just to be able to find herself. And so happiness is a big deal for us as women. We sincerely want to be happy people. But you can't be a happy person if you don't know what is making you sad. So to be able to succeed in life, you must find the things around you, find the things that make, the things that are around you, excluding your children, excluding the marriage, just find yourself and attack the things that will make you grow. If I've been able to answer the question that I didn't hear completely.
Yeah, okay. I think you got there in the end. But then I want to bring a specific point to mind. I'd like Essie to answer this, to just talk about this. You are feeling stuck. Precious raised the point about feeling stuck. You know where you were coming from and you know where you want to go. But right now, the math is not mathing at all. You can't see a way through. You might have come from a different country, you're in this country or in another country, and you're feeling like, oh my God, it happened to me personally. Oh my God, why did I give up what I know for what I didn't know? So giving up the known for the unknown, and then at a point feeling stuck. How do we address people who are going through a mindset shift like that? If I can get Esther weigh in, please.
I was going to use you as reference instead of myself.
Thank you.
When you're feeling stuck, as women, we have so much going on in our minds. And as Precious saying, we're focused on the children, we're focused on the husband. We've got so many things and we forget we are always the last person we focus on. I'm going to use Bless as a reference. I do apologize, Bless. So one thing I've known and love about Blessing is that she academically brilliant. And at a time of when we first met, she was not in that place in where she wanted to be in her career. And I had to say to her, stop thinking of what you want to do. We have such ambitions where we like, I need to be this person now. And sometimes you need to stop and be like, what do I need to, at this present moment where I am, what is going to make me happy right now for me to slowly get to where I need to be? I think we get so all consumed with the end result of what I want to have, the big house, the shiny car, the man is in jail or wherever, we think about, but we don't think about what is the peace that I'm going to get right now. So I remember with Bless, it will be literally the smallest of things. What do you need to do? Maybe do some volunteer work. Bless did
food
volunteer
bank.
work.
The food bank. I worked in the food bank.
Yeah. Nothing big, nothing shiny. It wasn't shiny. But what did it do? It got her out of the home. It got her talking to people. It gave her structure in her day. We built on that. What was the next thing you did? You gained experience. From that experience, you were able to what? Apply for jobs. From that, you got another job. She hated the job. But what did it do? It gave her structure, purpose. So the point I'm trying to make here is that don't think of the big shiny things that you want, that you're going to get. Because when you become so overwhelmed, because all the challenges that you think, I don't have this qualification, I don't have that, I don't have this. And then you get all overwhelmed and then you give up. Start with the things that are achievable in this moment. Whether it be speaking to someone, that's a tick. You've done that. Whether it be giving your free time that you may have to someone else, that's a tick. Give yourself little structure in your day for yourself and then build on that. That's what I had to do, because I remember I got so overwhelmed with my finances. I was left with a lot of debt. And I remember speaking to one of my sons and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got so much debt. What am I going to do? And then, you know, when you're with debt, you close your eyes, you put your head in the sand and you don't want to think about it. You don't want to look at the letters. But then you're like, okay, if I pay £5 here a month, you build up, you start saving a bit more. Slowly, the walls are not so close to you. They slowly move out. So start small, and then when you start small, you achieve bigger things. That's the point I'm making. So don't go overwhelmed with the bigness of what your challenge is. Start chipping away small, and then you would have got rid of everything. Because you know, when you chip at a small thing, you chip away slowly, then there's a massive crack, and then everything just falls apart. So start small.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that is so profound. I don't think we can top that last bit. So with this conversation, I don't even want to say anything else. I want to leave our listeners with this. If you're going through something and it feels so overwhelming at the moment, just like our guests today have said, start small. Chip away at it ever so little. Sometimes not everyday effort. Some days you're just thinking, I can't get out of bed today. I can't be bothered. You're right. Just be in bed. Take your time. But when you do get out, chip away a little bit, and then you can gradually find your way through, see the grass from the trees or the wood from the trees. And to every woman carrying more than she should, this episode is for you. You're not failing. You are not crazy. You are not alone. Let's start putting down the things that we never thought that we could do, one bit after the other, and then let's help each other out. Join this conversation again at Sisters Narrative. Follow our YouTube channel and all of our social platforms, and join the conversation. Share your views, bring your topics. Let's talk about what we're going through, and let's be able to chip away at these things and help you get to where you need to go. Thanks so much. Thanks, S, for taking that time. Now we know it's your bedtime, so we can let you go to sleep. Thank you so much for joining us. And our dear host, Precious, and Debbie, thank you for another lovely episode today at Sisters Narrative. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.